Welcome to Storied Audio. Evan hadn't expected to recognize the name on the work order. It had been years since college, since he'd last seen Claire Bennett sitting 3 rows ahead of him in Intro to Sociology, always early, always scribbling notes like the world depended on it. They'd never been close, just familiar faces passing in hallways. Still, when he pulled up to her house that morning, something like nostalgia flickered through him. He spent the day rewiring outlets, replacing old fixtures, and crawling through the attic. It was in the attic that he found the first one, a tiny black lens tucked behind a beam, angled toward the living room vent. His stomach tightened. By the time he found the second and third, hidden in places no one should ever be filmed, he felt sick. He waited for her on the porch as the sun dipped behind the trees. When Claire finally pulled into the driveway, she stepped out of her car, smiling, brushing hair from her face. "Long day?" she asked. "Yeah," he said, but his voice carried something heavier. She noticed immediately. "What's wrong?" He swallowed. "Claire, I found cameras. In your house. Hidden ones. Living room, bedroom, bathroom." She stopped moving. Her keys slipped from her fingers and hit the concrete with a sharp clatter. "What?" Her voice was barely a breath. "They're active," he said gently. "Transmitting. I didn't touch them beyond disconnecting the power. Do you want to call the police?" She nodded, trembling. He stayed beside her while she dialed, stayed while the officers searched the house, stayed while she filed the report. They traced the signal to her co-worker, someone she'd trusted enough to chat with at lunch, someone who'd apparently found a way into her home. He was arrested before midnight. Outside the station, Claire hugged her arms around herself. "I can't go back there tonight," she whispered. "Do you know a hotel nearby?" "You can stay at my place," Evan said. "Guest room's clean. You'll be safe." She hesitated only a moment before nodding. At his house, the tension slowly unwound. They sat at the kitchen table with mugs of tea, talking about college, about the professors they'd both disliked, about the strange turns life had taken since then. She laughed, really laughed, for the first time that day, and he felt something warm settle in his chest. They talked until the clock crept past 2 in the morning. Eventually, she excused herself to the guest room, thanking him again. When Evan woke the next morning, the house was quiet. The guest bed was neatly made. On the kitchen counter sat a folded note. "Thank you for everything. Truly. Here's my number. Ask me out sometime. I'll say yes." He read it, unable to stop the smile spreading across his face. A terrible night had brought them back into each other's lives. But maybe something good was waiting on the other side of it. Subscribe for more audio stories.